How's everybody doing? My name is Augie with VIP Playlist. I am taking some advice from my co-hosts and slowing down the intro a little bit. Oh
Oh,
yeah,
see
you
that? You
like
finally
that?
listen to me. Look
Yeah.
at that, dude.
Anyways, I am here with my helpful co-host.
Oh, Adam. What's up,
Yeah.
guys?
We have a returning guest today.
Yeah.
You want to introduce? Well, we're going to be talking mainly about your main project. So you want to introduce yourself and what you do for your band and everything?
So my name is Jesse Isadore. I am a metal vocalist slash race car driver slash business owner guy, and I'm in Design the Void, and I have a solo project called Isadore that we were just talking about how lazy I've been in, and you know, I do things.
Yeah, look, big things coming for Isadore, all
Big
right?
Yeah,
things
big
coming.
things coming, dude. Big things planned 2 years ago that I never followed through on, dude. Oh,
Listen, when they release another Mass Effect game, you'll get another song, all right?
yeah. Well, maybe I'll finish the first 12 I started, dude.
Right?
Maybe that'll happen, dude. Maybe it'll give me some more motivation. I don't know,
Yeah.
man. Maybe I'll have to change the theme to Starfield now that that's out, dude.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. I've been playing the shit out of some Diablo 4.
Have you? Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been on that Starfield grind, bro. I since it came out, what was it, last Friday? I have been a total nerd
Dude, I
in this
haven't
grind.
played shit but Diablo 4 since it came out.
That's what all the Diablo fanboys keep telling me. Like,
Yeah.
I mow for this lady, and oh, by the way, hi Samantha, and her and her husband took, it was like 2 or 3 days off in a row or something like that to play Diablo, and like every time I see her, she's like a hermit coming out of her cave.
Yeah.
And I hear Diablo stories and stuff. It's funny,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Yeah, it's been fun, man. It's been fun. But
you
so you
Diablo people are real savages, dude. Like you guys will invest serious hours into that.
see, I don't have serious hours to invest, but I have been playing. I think I've got a sorcerer who's level like 75 right now.
So would you say Diablo 4? Because I know Diablo 3 is like legendary, right?
Yeah,
Diablo
everybody loved
2,
Diablo 3, yeah.
is it on that level?
I don't know. I
Or
never played Diablo 3.
oh really?
Mm-hmm.
Really? Wow, you're one of those
Went straight to
guys.
4.
Went straight to 4. My brother played
Interesting.
3. I played 3 a little bit with my brother. And my brother gave, because there was a lot of like customizing weapons going on in the
Mhm.
game. And my
Right.
brother gave me this sword, and he was like, I don't know why I gave you that. Don't use it because every time I use it, it makes my internet lag. And I would just use it just to piss him off because it was like the weapon speed was so fucking fast. It was ridiculously fast, dude. I couldn't even see the bitch moving on my screen. It was so fast. And so I would just like switch to that weapon and then use it real quick. He would be like, "You son of a bitch."
It's so funny you say that you weren't like a heavy Diablo 2 and 3
Mm-mm.
player, because like it seems to me like when I talk to Diablo people, right? They're like, Diablo 4 is pretty cool. I've got like 652,000 hours in it. It's like, dude, that shit came out like 2 weeks ago. How did you do that? Like, I
Yeah.
played on 7 accounts on 4 different computers.
Yeah.
You're like,
Yeah. Right.
holy shit.
No,
And
dude.
then, but they always follow it up with the caveat of it's not as good as Diablo 2 is, but
Yeah.
it's good.
Yeah.
They always like you're probably in the minority of people I've talked to that are like, yeah, I just started playing it. Usually people are like, I played
Well,
Diablo 1 in 1996 on a MacBook.
I got the
You
game
know,
for free. My
Oh, that's right.
my my friend slash I don't know if I could say this on the air, but whatever. My friend slash weed dealer bought it for me. Uh,
okay.
When your dealer goes above and beyond, dude.
right? Listen, get you a dealer
That's
like I
customer
got. All
service,
right, that's
baby.
customer service. All right. He sent me $150 to buy 2 copies, and I only bought one. And he was listen, he just hit me up out of the blue one day. He was like, "Hey, you gonna play Diablo 4?" And I was like, "Yeah, maybe when it goes on sale, because that's how I buy games. All right,
Right.
I don't pay full price for shit, okay? Because I know when that game comes out in about 3 months, that bitch is gonna go on sale for 40% off, and then that's when I'll buy it.
Right.
I'm not paying those $60, $70 for a goddamn game.
Mhm.
But yeah, he bought it for me. It's well, I can't. Let me read it. It's not my. I don't smoke weed, but my wife does. So it's her
Nice
weed
caveat,
dealer.
dude.
A,
Throw
Yeah,
her
like,
under the
a
bus,
likely
dude.
story, dude.
yeah,
That bus was moving and she just got
yeah,
hit, son.
yeah. No, I get random, so I can't do anything. Yeah, but yeah, he bought it for me. He just hit me up, dude. He was just like here, and he was like he sent me. I was like, damn, dude, that's like that's crazy.
Yeah. I feel you,
And
dude.
Yeah,
I'd play a game if somebody bought it for me too.
Ryan Adam's been playing Overwatch for how many years now?
Oh well, yeah, but I got back into the sports stuff. I'm playing
Oh,
Madden right now,
oh
or not
shit.
currently, but
Yeah, yeah.
Dude,
lately.
I got the new Madden and that shit just made me mad, son. I
It's
don't know
in the
how you
name,
guys
bro.
do
It's
it.
in the name.
I know, dude. I don't get me wrong, it's not a bad game. I just feel like I'm playing Madden 12 still. I don't know,
I
like
feel you.
it looks prettier, you know?
Yeah.
And I really liked for a couple years they were doing a storyline, right? They're doing like,
Mhm.
and they're still kind of doing it, but boy, has it gotten corny.
Oh
The
yeah.
oh, oh, it's hard, dude. It
Yeah.
is painful. It is the cringe is thing, like,
Yeah.
and there's only one voice. So even if you're like a crispy, crunchety white cracker fella, you sound like a deep South African American gentleman. You know what I'm saying? It's so awkward. Like I've got this nerdy 7 foot tall white guy, and he stands up. He's like, "No, I'm saying we all there playing games." No, I'm saying it's just the wildest thing ever, dude. I was like, how did they not have the foresight to make
Bro, they gotta
characters?
shell out some money for some voice actors, bro.
I know, right? Got a $20 million budget, and all you managed to do is change the level of the hit stick. Like
Ryan.
we're just crazy, but yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not a Madden hater. I was a FIFA loyalist for a long
Oh
time,
yeah.
and like I was such a FIFA nerd that I remember when Ultimate Team came out, right? And I
Mhm.
remember when you could spend like fucking $100 and you would have more money than you knew what to do in Ultimate Team with, and you could string together these really cool like cheap teams, and they would be god tier, you know. Not anymore.
Right.
If you're fixing to play Ultimate Team, you better crank out Daddy's credit card because
Oh yeah.
you're going to invest a couple grand this year.
Yeah.
That's how that's going to go.
Damn.
It's pay to win for sure.
It is pay to win. It's fuck. And I mean, I guess I don't blame them. They made like what $70 billion last year
Yeah.
on Ultimate Team. So I guess more power to you. But whew, I don't know, man. I feel like if my cash cow was sports games, I'd put in a little more effort. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
don't know. But I just, on principle, like the cheap ass in me will not allow me to support EA anymore. I just have such a
Bro,
hard
EA.
time.
God.
I have such a hard time shelling out them shekels. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah,
just
EA, man,
hurts me.
they fucking good God, dude. I've never seen a company fucking milk every penny out of their fans like the way EA does. It's ridiculous.
Mhm.
It's so egregious too. It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's shameless. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like they don't even understand what they look like to us plebeians, the general public. Even the people who buy their games hate
Yeah.
them.
See, my
And-
wife played like The Sims. She loved The Sims, but
Mhm.
she just like shit, dude. She was like, I'll just wait for the fucking game to stop getting updated and then call them and get all the fucking packs for free.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because right, it's like the base game's like $60, and then every pack they come out with is either 10 to $20.
Yeah.
And I think she looked at it and like it's a ridiculous amount of money if you wanted to purchase every piece of like
Mhm.
thing for The Sims 3.
related content. It's probably like what, $1,000? Some crazy thing.
Yikes.
Okay, so a sim point is worth 10 cents. So everything on the Sims 3 store. So if you wanted to purchase everything on the Sims 3 store, it would cost approximately $74,486.
Easy. Light
And
work.
as for all of the DLC for the DLC to the game itself, this is The Sims 3, mind you. So all of the DLC for the game costs a total of $439.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
EA is fucking
Oh my
nuts.
God. Are you at least gonna loop me up before you fuck me,
Nope.
dude?
No,
Oh
going in dry, baby.
God, dude. Got
Jeez.
my butthole looking like an Arby's roast beef sandwich, dude. Oh my God, dude. Oh Lord, dude. No cheese at all, dude.
That's EA for you, though, man. EA is just fucking ridiculous, dude.
That is so egregious. It's not even funny.
Hmm.
And like, I feel like the problem is that The Sims is like that housewife demographic. Like, so
Hmm.
it's funny you say your wife plays it because my wife also plays it,
Yeah.
and she just recently bought a bunch of packs and hijacked my computer to play it, which that's all good, you know what I mean? But like, I had no idea. Like, she was telling me there's like too many packs, and she's kind of a tightwad like me. So
Yeah.
I was like, thinking, there's like $100 worth of DLC, and she wasn't trying to buy it. No, there's $73,000 worth of DLC. It's no wonder she was overwhelmed looking through the marketplace. That's insane.
Yeah, dude. I
Well,
can
if you're looking at
imagine.
the Sims 4, all the total DLC that they have out right now for the Sims 4 is
Mhm.
a total of $995. That's just DLC. I don't know if they have a store or what, but yeah, that's the Sims 4 right now. So
There must be a market, though.
yeah,
I mean, like, that's one of the things, like, I always encourage my gamer homies, like, when we have these conversations, it's like, dude, at some point, your money has to be where your mouth is,
Yeah.
because I started to notice me and all my buddies would buy the same games and whine about the same games. And it started with Call of Duty. It started with, like, everything after Black Ops 2. And we were like, this game sucks. You want to play it? and
yeah,
and we would be playing it nonstop. And it's like, we hate these games, but yet here we all are. And now we have like this underground railroad of like weird indie games that we all like play and talk about. Like,
yeah.
I've been playing Ranch Simulator recently,
Oh
and
shit.
it's terrible in the best way. Like, I'm at a point right now where my pigs have been reproducing, and I just don't want to go back because I have like 426 pigs, and they just glitch through their fence and shit
That's
everywhere.
amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's just
So when you
like,
think about it, though, it's like, so The Sims 4 came out in 2014, and they released like a pack or two every couple of months or every year. So if you're spending $39.99 when they first come out, it's not as bad, I guess. But when you look at like the total
right.
price that you've spent on all of it, you're like, oh shit. But you've spent that, over the last almost 10 years. So it's not as bad when you think about it like that.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, it's still pretty egregious though.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, absolutely, dude.
what did it take him to make? Like, how long do you think it took him to make The Sims 3? Like 12 minutes?
Oh,
Like,
dude. Yeah.
it's
I
just
mean,
like,
The Sims 3, everybody complained about The Sims 4 because they fucked EA. So what EA's like thing is so The Sims 3 was perfect. Like it came out, it was really good. I mean, of course you had a couple of things wrong with it, but then when The Sims 4 came out, I'm pretty sure my wife was complaining about this, is it didn't even come out with kids. Like you couldn't have babies when The Sims 4 just came out.
Sounds good.
That was a DLC that you had to purchase, whereas The Sims
my
3 had it for
God.
free. Yeah, and it
basic
was like,
function
what
of
the
living.
fuck, dude? Yeah,
It's a life simulation game. They're like, oh, by the way, if you want to do a basic function of living,
you have to
give
purchase
us
it.
your
Yeah,
$40, bitch.
And
Having
that's-
babies ain't
yeah.
natural.
that's what like EA is like perfect at. Is like they take a feature that everybody loves. They're like, oh shit, y'all like that? Well, do you like it $40 worth? Like, fucking hey, no, I don't like it that much. Shit,
Yeah,
fuck them kids.
it is crazy. It's like, I'll never forget, like, in Ultimate Teams, where I really started to notice it was changing, right? They used to do the end of the season star cards or whatever they called those, where, like, you'd get a blue version. And at one point in my life, I was making real money selling EA coins. Like, I was selling FIFA coins to online retailers at a fucking just outstanding premium. Like, I mean, like, in 12 hours, I could make $400 worth of like
Damn.
real life money on EA,
Damn.
right? And it just got to a point where it's like, I'm neglecting my business to play a soccer game that I make like, I guess it's a substantial amount of money on, but not like enough to justify putting my business on the side burner. And at some point I was like, this is crazy. And then when they took that away and they were like, no, all the money has to go through us. You can't buy coins through the marketplace anymore. Because like, and they adapted for a little while where like you could list multiple cards for a certain amount of money, because like we used to give each other money. Like that wasn't just a pay to play service where like you would pay an online retailer to give you coins on the marketplace, right? That was also a way that we used to give each other coins to get other people playing Ultimate Team, right? Because I mean, I was a fucking hood rich Ultimate Team billionaire, bro. Like I was flexing on fools, dude. I'd have like all blue teams just because fuck you. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'd have like some of the craziest teams, and I would have like at one point, I think it was in FIFA like 14 or 16 or something, I had like 5 of the all blue Messis. I had like 5 of the cards just stacked up. I was literally impacting the marketplace at one point. I had so many of them.
Damn.
And then I listed them all for an outrageous price and made just stupid money. Just crazy. Like over $1 billion or something like that in FIFA coins. And then I sold them back to a retailer. And I at one point I was like, dude, I'm like the fucking, who's that dude, the Koch brothers that just like manipulate the market of the pharmaceutical industry. I'm like that dude on FIFA. You know what I mean? I was like, I'm getting a little too carried away with this, and I had to kind of draw back and be like, this is taking up way too much of my adult life. I'm like 25. You know what I mean? But
shit. Yeah. Listen up, all you VIP peers.
VIP players.
Goddamn Patreon now.
Kid is so aggressive.
I did.
We have a Patreon now.
Yeah, motherfuckers.
And a Discord.
Yeah.
And a YouTube.
Discord. Come
but
join
no webcams yet.
No webcams. You can't see our beautiful face.
Not yet.
Yeah. Shout out to Enormous Adam on Discord. Hit him up if you need a Discord. He did a great job on ours. It looks cool. But guess what? You won't know how it looks unless you join that bitch. If you would, please join our Discord and our Patreon. It would be really cool of you. We would love you forever. We'd still love you forever, even if you don't.
Yeah. You join the Patreon, you're going to get stickers. You get to dehumanize me.
Yes.
You want to know what that means?
Go look at the Patreon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's it. And subscribe to our fucking YouTube channel.
Yeah. Comment.
Thank you.
Review. Subscribe. We love you more.
All that stuff. Do everything that you do for all the people that you love on YouTube. Do it for us too.
Yeah.
Thanks.
We love you.
You recently started racing again, right?
Yeah, I did. I started racing mini late models, which is hilarious because I'm as big as the car. I'm like 6'5". My head sticks out the roof. If you get on YouTube and type in redneck race chasers and look for the Sharp mini late models, there's a good chance you'll see me. I have a car that I call the Bent Bomber. So like it's this old beat up car, but it's really fast. It's just this white car with a 00 on it. And I have a really nice car that I just built that's new. But I drove it for 2 weeks and blew the motor up. So
shit.
Because I'm a little poor boy and I don't want to pay all that money to rebuild the motor. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, racing is expensive hobby, bro.
Yeah, it can be.
I'm driving the Bent Bomber right now, and you know, the old girl's doing me good. I mean, it's fast. I'm having a lot of fun, man. These cars are super cool. Yeah. So we grew up racing dirt circle track stuff, and my dad was a super late model driver, and I raced a modified for a while. But like now, dude, to race a super late model right now, forget it, man. I mean, it's $1 million car.
Yeah.
It's like creeping up on like weird Formula One numbers. It's fucking wild. Like the motors are $100,000, the cars are 30, 40, 50 grand.
Fucking A, bro.
You're going through $500 in tires a weekend. If on a good weekend, you're going through that much. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot of guys burning through a couple $100 in fuel a weekend, and that's not even getting to the track. It's just in the car.
Damn, dude.
It's a rich man sport. So I got them the mini late models. They're all pump gas. I go through like one set of tires a year. Life's good, dude. I spend like $6 and an unfucked chicken every weekend, and I go bang doors with people, dude. It's a lot of fun.
That's what's up, man. We actually it's funny. God damn. We used to have this like race down here. I don't remember. I don't know if it's still going on or not. But some drunk fucking dude owned a bunch of land, and he got this bright idea to start doing races once a year out there. But it has to be a 4-cylinder, and it has to be the shittiest beat up fuck. Like basically pull it out of the junkyard, and if it starts, bring it over. Right? That's the style of car, right? And you have a team of 4, and before you even race, you have to kill a 12-pack before you race.
Hell yeah.
No, dude.
And I think the whole team has to drink a certain amount before they finish the race. And it was called like Fred Lobster or something. He did it for like 5 years straight. But yeah, he just like fucking, it was hilarious, dude.
That sounds so dangerous.
Yeah. It was very
I'm sure somebody shut that down by now.
Yeah. It went on for like 5 years, dude. Yeah. It went on for like 5 years. I don't even know if he had like the proper permits or what. He was just like, fuck it, let's do it, bro.
I don't know if anyone would give him permits for that.
Yeah. I went out there like 2 years in a row or something like that just to watch.
I don't know where you live. I don't really know if you need permits. I mean, I know
he was
you need
way outside of city limits.
I know you need insurance. It's kind of like having an event of any kind, right? Like a concert, like it's the same thing. I mean, you got the money, and people give a shit
him
about
sign waivers or whatever. Yeah, make him sign waivers if you get hurt or whatever.
Yeah,
it's not his responsibility.
Definitely waivers, because if you're like, you got to drink a handle of Crown Royal and duct tape each other to the roof, you better be signing a fucking waiver, my guy. Have you ever seen the banger races? Like, I know they do a lot of them in Australia. Like, they have all these different versions. So, like, there's my favorite one is like there's a tandem banger race where like they chain 2 cars together, right? The car in the back has the brakes, and the car in the front has the engine.
Oh, that's amazing.
So, it's wild. It's
amazing,
wild, dude. And it's really cool. And then there's one where they like it's a boat race where like so you have to drive like a vehicle that can tow a boat, and then they tow so they strap this boat as aggressively as they can to the trailer, right? And the goal is to finish the race with or without the boat is irrelevant, but the boat has to be a full boat, like motor and everything.
Oh, shit.
People are just running into each other and wrecking each other, and like they're trying to flip each other using the boat trailer and stuff. It's the most dangerous thing I've ever seen in my life. Like you'll just see
crazy,
a boat motor go through somebody's minivan window, or like it's the craziest shit. But those races are cool.
Yeah, man.
Then they have figure eights where people slalom in and out of each other and T-bone the shit out of each other. It's crazy.
Damn.
So
yeah, dude, it's fucking wild how many weird ass races they got, bro.
It is crazy. Well, the one thing that I guess maybe I was so young I didn't recognize about the races is like you don't realize how many people have money, like real money. Like you'll go to your local racetrack and there's just nothing but rednecks with money everywhere. Like they'll pull in a $2 million hauler. That hauler's got 3 cars in it that are well over $100,000 a piece. And
I believe it, dude. Yeah,
dude, it's all they do. Like that's their thing, dude.
We used to.
That dude just owns like a boot store. You know what I mean? It's like I guess the boot business is booming.
Yeah, booming is booming, bro. We used to live next door to these people that owned a plumbing company, and they I think they said like every Tuesday was race car night. That's when they worked on their race cars, and it got loud as fuck over there.
Oh yeah. Well, me and my wife so I have a racetrack in my hometown. I live right next to McKean County Raceway, and So my shop for my business is like 500 yards from the racetrack. But there's like a bunch of woods and a tree line right there, so you don't really hear the races too bad from my shop.
Yeah.
But my house is about 3 miles across the river and up a hill, right? And we hear the races like they're in our front yard. It's weird because like there's this clear cut valley in between us and the racetrack, and the races are louder at my house than they are at the races. It's the craziest thing. My dogs hate it, dude. I hate it.
I bet, dude. That's funny.
Yeah. It is fun though. It's weird living right next door to a racetrack because I grew up at racetracks. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the one that we have here keeps shutting down and then reopening and then shutting down, and I don't know. It's wild. It's done that since I was a kid.
Yeah, it's a tough business right now, man, because racing is like everything where they have priced their demographic out of the industry.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, especially with your premier classes, like the late models and stuff. And it's crazy to watch these industries keep making the same mistakes over and over and over again. Like, so when my dad had a heart attack and we got out of racing in like 2009, right? They were just introducing crate late models, which was like the affordable late model.
Yeah.
Right? So what makes late models so expensive is just the shock package on a late model could be $7,000 to $20,000, right? That's just the shocks on the car.
Yeah.
And like a general rule of thumb is every corner of a dirt late model costs like $5,000 to $10,000, right? In just parts, like between the control arms, ball joints, the bump steer. They have these little pills in them that determine the bump steer and all this stuff. Like, so all the cars are built a little bit different, but every corner you can sum up to like $5,000 to $10,000 depending on your budget, right? And then the motor is a good $70,000 to $100,000 depending on, you know, how big, if you want to go big or go home, you know. And a lot of those guys have backup motors. So you start doing the math. I mean, like, that's why they introduced the crate late model, was because it was supposed to be cheaper. Because the car is the cheap part. Like, you can get a car for like 20-ish, 20 to 30, depending on the manufacturer, right? So the car is the cheap part of the race car. And if you can make all the parts cheaper, so a crate motor, spec shock, which is $120 or whatever, and then you limit like the spring rules and stuff, you can make it a lot more affordable, right?
Yeah.
Well, then they opened up the shock rule, and then like they just continuously like step up. Like the crate motors used to be $5,000, now they're 12. Like, it's like you took a good idea and you just shit all over it by open up all the rules, and like you turn the crate late model into the premier class, and now nobody races super late models, and nobody can afford a crate late model, you know? So like you just price your demographic out of the market slowly, and then your class dies and everybody's left there holding the bag. Like, what happened? It's like, well, you let way too many hands get in the cookie jar, and now there's not enough cookies, you know? It's just really frustrating.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like they realize they can make money off of it, and then just start sucking up all the fun, man. That fucking sucks.
It's like every industry we love too, because like I can make that same analogy to like my experience with music, you know?
Yeah.
Every time you make a step up in your band, right? You go from playing your local shit shows, your bar shows, your shows with your buddies, and you know, nobody's really looking to make money. You know, you might be charging $5 to get in. Maybe you're splitting the bar with the owner, something like that, you know? And everybody comes out, but then like you go to open for Whitechapel or you insert favorite band. I'm not trying to call anybody out, right?
Yeah.
But like, and then it's like, oh, by the way, you have to sell 120 tickets, and they have to be 30. They're $30 to $50 a piece. Good luck. Or and if you don't do it, we'll still take the money in the tickets.
Yeah, we're still going to take the ticket sales, and yeah.
And you can go fuck yourself.
And now the venues are taking merch cuts and shit like that, and it's like that's literally the only way bands made money on tour was fucking merch. Dude. And now it's like, oh, you're making money off of that, and we're not. Let me fucking fix that.
Yeah, let me just ruin your fun time, dude.
Yeah.
So
Everybody's always,
I mean, it's how industries die, I think. So,
yeah.
it's okay though, because like it seems like a lot of cool things are born when the industry dies. Like these little cars that I'm racing, you know? I mean, they're dirt cheap. Almost anybody can buy them. I mean, the maintenance on them is non-existent. There's no money at all in maintenance. I mean, you barely burn tires up. I mean, it's the most affordable version of racing I've ever seen. And
That's what's up, dude.
I would argue like the same things happen in the music. Like, I started following a dude on, I want to say it was either Facebook or TikTok. His band's name is Low Spirit, and I'm drawing a blank on his name. His handle on TikTok, I think, was Sad Songs Only. I think that's where I found him. That's why I'm struggling with his name, because it's like, you know, on TikTok, it's you remember people by their handle. But I've like watched that dude grow, like from a dude who just did really cool covers of like My Chemical Romance songs to like playing on stage with. He just did a song called Hollow with these giant EDM artists. I think it's DeBrick and something. King Wachi or something like that. They're like these giant EDM artists that I didn't even know existed, because they're like these TikTok stars, you know?
Yeah.
And the song is a banger. And like this dude has like 900,000 monthly listeners. It's the craziest thing. And it's like, you feel so cool for that. Like, you're so happy for that dude. It's like,
yeah, man.
Fuck yeah, dude. It's super sick that like the grassroots thing still exists. It's just in a different way, you know?
And well, there's a will, there's a way, man. People will always find a way, man. Like, regardless of money, you know. Sure. But then once they do that, then of course, listen, best way to not have people encroach on the industry that you love is everybody just needs to act like we're having a shit time. All right. Nobody is enjoying going to shows. Okay. We hate that shit. Don't even look over here. All right. No money to be made.
No money to be made.
Yeah. I don't even like being here. All right.
Well, and the reality is like, you got to speak with your money, and that's hard to do sometimes. Cause like, so if you take the music example, right? Live Nation just buys up all the big tour packages. So you now have to punish your favorite band because they had to go with Live Nation, because Live Nation was the only people who could help them put together a package as big as they needed, right? Yeah. So you have to punish an artist you support because you don't want to support the machine, right? Yeah. And it's just, they're so good at like being like, it's like that old Geico commercial with the guy with the dollar bill and the fishing pole. He's like, oh, he's pulling it up, dude. You're always between like a rock and a hard place where you're like, oh, this industry's evil, but I really want to see Nickelback or whoever it is, you know? So
no, I feel you, yeah. It fucking sucks. But so y'all, Design the Void, let's shift topics here a little bit. Design the Void just released a new song, man, a banger.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So we just released a song called Hazmat. It is definitely probably our poppiest song in recent memory. It's almost pop punk at parts.
Yeah.
And it's all feel goody and stuff, which is weird for me because I'm usually writing the most depressing shit you can imagine.
Yeah, man.
But we set our sights on making something that didn't make you want to, you know, self-delete. You know,
yeah.
I think we did it. It's a cool song, you know.
Yeah, it's an interesting shift.
I enjoyed it, man.
But it's a really good song indeed. And before we started recording, you mentioned something about like your plan moving forward in terms of like releasing more songs, right?
Yeah. So we've been trying to stay on like an 8-week cycle, right? And is an up and coming band, it's difficult, right? Because there's no right choice. If you make an EP and you dump it, people pick one song and they listen to it, and the rest of it gets lost, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And if you release singles, people always go, I want an album or an EP, right?
Yeah.
So I would encourage anybody listening, if your favorite artist is releasing singles, just try to bear with them, because if they release an album, you're only going to listen to 3 songs anyways. And you might be the 1 out of 20 people that doesn't do that. But,
Yeah.
you know, we can see the numbers and we know that there's almost none of the people that are asking for the album. They don't stick it out, you know, versus singles just overperform. And, you know, it's just the industry we're in, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But I mean, we do want to do an EP, and we've been talking about doing. We have about 6 songs that are either done or almost done. The next song on our chopping block is a song called Mass Effect. So, I have a solo project called Isadore, and it's all Mass Effect themed, like real nerd shit. And Josh, my drummer in our band, I guess he's our guitar player now, but he's also our engineer. And he did all the mixing and mastering for it. And I convinced him to start playing the original Mass Effect series because they released the Legendary Edition.
Nice.
And this poor nerd, he lost like 350 hours or some crazy thing playing the original Mass Effect trilogy, and he had never played it. And like now he's as obsessed with it as I was. So
nice.
We wrote a couple songs in Design the Void that are basically Mass Effect themed. And we're thinking about releasing it as an EP and seeing if we can promote it in a way that people actually hear it, you know, whether we release it as singles or not. But long story short, we got music coming. And if you follow us on our socials or on Spotify, you know, I think you'll like it. If you're into metalcore, like I would say sometimes we ride the line between metalcore and deathcore. Then there's other times, like I would say Hazmat is almost pop punky at times, you know. And we're kind of all over the place.
I did get a very pop feel from it, but it wasn't bad. It was it fit. It was a really good song. I enjoyed it.
Right.
So it fit what y'all were going for. Not really sure what y'all were going for, but it definitely fit. So
yeah. And I think it's refreshing to do stuff like that. I'm going to be completely honest, as like a deathcore vocalist at heart. Like I grew up listening to Whitechapel and Suicide Silence, and that's where my heart is. So on some level, it absolutely ruins me to release a song like that, but it also helps me be a way better songwriter. You know?
Oh, for sure,
And I mean, I've always pushed for catchy choruses. I just, you know, when there's no breakdowns, it makes me hurt inside, you know?
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of artists who release music like singles, and the singles that they release sound absolutely nothing like what's on their album. First one that comes to mind is because me and my wife talked about it the other day was Weezer.
Yeah.
Weezer, their singles like Beverly Hills, it sounds jack shit like their fucking record. All right.
Right.
Like if you listen to a Weezer album expecting Beverly Hills, you fucked up, all right?
Yeah. It's totally different. It's like they're almost punky, right? Like they're I had a cousin that was super obsessed with Weezer in high school. And it ruined Weezer for me because like, you know, he was always like lurking around the corner being like, did you really new Weezer album? It's pretty good. And it just killed it for me.
Check out this Weezer song, bro.
Yeah. It's like, you don't understand. Like, it's actually way deeper than you realize.
Yeah. It's so deep.
It's about the geopolitical situation in China. Okay, dude.
Yeah, calm down, bro.
Relax, dude. It's a song about Nikes. Chill, dude.
Yeah. He's singing about his sweater, bro. Calm down.
I know, right? But yeah, I mean, I low-key have a lot of Weezer bangers that I like.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think it's smart to do stuff like that because you draw in a different crowd. You know, you draw in other people. It's not the same fans over and over again. You draw in different fans from doing stuff like that. So,
right.
I think it's
and also
good marketing tactic.
Yeah, and I mean, marketing aside too. Like, so when I started doing music, I was like 21 or something.
Yeah.
Like in that area. I'm 32 now. And, you know, when I was a kid, I used to get really mad when my favorite artists would change their sound, right? But like as a musical artist now, I see like the shit I listen to now is nothing like what I listened to when I was 21. And
Yeah.
the music I want to make now is nothing like what I wanted to make at 21.
Yeah.
Like I'll give you a good example. Like my favorite shit now, like I have the worst music taste ever. I would have hated me when I was like 18. Like I have been jamming Taylor Swift's new album for a year and a
The
half.
Swifty baby. Yeah.
Fuck
Oh
it.
boy, I am.
Let's
Dude,
go.
the song "Bejeweled," dude. When that song comes on, I be shaking this booty, dude. You know,
Oh yeah, dude.
That's what
I
I'm
got more
talking
rolls
about.
in a bakery. And these tatas are jiggling, son.
now we're talking.
So, but dude, I mean, like I was actually like before I realized we weren't gonna make a playlist today. Like I was putting like this huge playlist together because I wanted to like have a refresher because I remember how awful and difficult it was. Like the last time I was like, oh shit, like I thought this part would be easy, you know? And then trying to come up with a playlist on the top of your head, you're like, I don't listen to music, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know any music. So, but at the same time though, like some of my favorite bands, like The Used, like I don't know if you guys have followed The Used since 2010, but they have gone through one of the coolest transformations that I've ever seen a band go through. Like their last couple albums might be their best albums they've ever done.
This last album, I haven't listened to the full album, but this last album they just released sounds really good. The songs that I have heard off of it.
Well, and they had an album, I think 2 years ago called Heartwork. And that's one of the best albums I've heard in my entire life. The whole album is just like a love letter to when we were kids. Like, Mark Hoppus is in a song. He's got Caleb Shomo from Beartooth in a song.
Oh, nice.
He's got the dude from Fever.
Jason Butler.
Yeah, Jason Butler. I mean, dude, it's like it is the craziest. It is such a good album. Like, seriously. Stop what you're doing right now. Hang up the phone and go listen to that shit. It's so good. Like it's one of my favorite albums in the last 10 years. And it popped up on my Spotify and I was like, oh geez, like The Used is still making music, you know? Because the last time I listened to Used was like maybe All That I've Got.
Yeah.
You know, like 2008. I'm like 14 and sweaty in my living room watching Fuse all day because mom's at work, you know, and like they were playing All That I've Got like over and over and over and over and over again, you know. That was probably the last time I seriously listened to The Used. And then like when I found that album, I was like, maybe like everything they did since then is pretty solid and everything they've done is pretty solid, you know.
Yeah, I've kept
weird.
up with them for the most part. There was the one after Bird and the Worm that I didn't listen to, but I did listen to I don't remember the fucking name of it, but I did listen to the other one that they released. But yeah, they've transformed their sound a lot.
Yeah, I've heard the last two singles, and I was like, "This is good shit."
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, they've transformed their sound a lot, but they've also kept true to their original sound as well.
Yeah, they like stayed uniquely pop, like
uniquely
them, punk or metalcore. Like they're like a metalcore punk band.
Yeah, they're dope. I really enjoy Burt McCracken and his voice and everything that they've done. So
for sure.
I do have to check out that new fucking album now.
Yeah, the new album is sick, and then the one they did in 2022 is really good too. And I think The Canyon was solid, and then there was, I think the one you're talking about might be Imaginary Enemy or something like that. But
I think it's something like that. Yeah,
they're so solid. Like I was like shocked when I heard that album, and not that I thought they were bad, right? Like it's one of those bands that like we lived through an era where if it wasn't on Fuse or VH1 or MTV, like I don't know how old you guys are, but like I particularly in my formative years was molded by that shit. And
100%.
There was a weird period for us where we like struggled to adapt to technology because like the kids that were 5-6 years younger than us, like they were on MySpace first, they were on Facebook first, like they were way ahead of us as far as technology goes. And I felt like I just got on the bandwagon right after high school, so I missed
Oh shit, we're old.
5 or 6 years of my formative years of music.
Adam, we're old. Oh no.
Yeah, dude.
I'm just now finding out. I'm just now finding out. I had.
How old are you guys?
I'm 33.
32.
Yeah,
So we're like almost the same age, dude.
I had
Welcome to
Facebook.
Grandpa
I had
Club.
MySpace. I had Facebook. I was actually sent a link to Facebook to join Facebook
Okay.
from
Wow.
like a friend sent, like, because it was back when you had to have an invite still.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
and I was actually sent a fucking link
I was
to
always a
join
late
Facebook.
adopter, so
I was
Yeah.
a late adopter.
I'm the last guy to do anything. I do shit when it's not
Yeah.
cool anymore.
Yeah,
Well, and what these little bastards nowadays don't realize, right? We had to be the cringe lords. Okay, we had to walk so they could run.
yeah.
This is true.
You don't know what it was like being on Facebook in 2010, dude. Okay,
Oh,
we
it's
were
the
like,
worst.
hi, who's hungry?
Adam
You were
is
complete
feeling
dipshits.
hungry. Adam is
Yes.
feeling sad with the fucking emoji on it.
I
Yeah,
am sad listening to X music, like whatever song, like it literally was like, what's on your mind? And we were like, well, I'm gonna take that as literally as possible
Yeah,
and ruin
the
everybody's
statuses are
newsfeed.
just so fucking weird back then. Like,
yeah.
finna eat this tuna sandwich. Like,
Oh,
what
yeah,
the hell,
bro.
dude?
Dude, once a year I go through and delete as much as I can.
Oh God, yes.
Like,
I thought I was the only one. Yeah.
no, dude, no.
Yeah.
Dude. I have deleted everything pre like 2018. Dude,
Yeah, you
fucking
just
kill-
go
I
through and
fucking left
cleanse
it,
that
dude.
shit,
I
bro. You go
left
through
it.
and
If you
cleanse
wanna-
that shit.
If you want to creep on my shit, go back. Go all the way back. I want it to live.
Yeah,
forever.
go see Baby Adam, all right?
Yeah.
Dude, and also
shit.
too, like we didn't realize at that age that that shit's always there, dude.
Yeah.
And you're not exactly good at impulse control when you're 19. You know what I
No,
mean?
no, not at all,
You're
dude.
like, you're like, I don't know, man. It's just not a good time to have internet access. I don't think.
Well, fuck,
Especially
you
when the
have
internet's new.
the
internet's
fucking
new and-
what is it? The Wayback Machine? Have you heard of that?
Oh no!
Have you heard of
Yeah.
that? Yeah.
Oh,
So it
yeah,
just
I've heard
it
about it.
takes
Go
a
through all that
fucking
archive nonsense.
takes a fucking snapshot of the internet.
I don't want that.
At a given time. So literally everything that you've posted or everything that you've tried to delete or anything is still archived on the fucking internet.
Nah, I don't want that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, it
You just
exists.
go to it
You
exists,
got it.
bro. You go to the
You
I
got it, dude.
don't fucking want it.
Yeah.
Right, dude.
Nah, I don't fucking want it, bro.
It's okay to hate yourself, brother.
Yeah.
We all hate ourselves, dude.
If you go to the
I'm sure
Wayback
it's
Machine
all
and it's
Facebooks
there,
are
dude.
awful.
Yeah.
Nah, dude,
Every
whoever
one
made
of
that.
us- every
Whoever
single
made
one
that
of us in this
sucks,
room
right?
is
The
posting
fuck
the
out of here with that
worst
shit.
thing ever. Oh, dude, I will see some shit from like 2013 come up in my memories and literally vomit in my own mouth.
Oh yeah,
I'll be
dude.
like, oh my god, I said that, dude. Oh,
Yeah.
kill me, dude.
Like what the fuck was I on?
Mhm,
And
mhm.
there was a period where all of us were like quoting lyrics to songs.
Oh, dude, that's all I did for like 2 years.
Oh,
Yeah.
If you
dude.
go back, it's like the dumbest. Oh.
You know what? Those were the best of times, right? I still wish it
They
was
were
like
the best
that,
of
all right?
times because I'd be like, oh man, this lyric's so good, and then it's like just so stupid, and no one gets it when it's out of context. Like,
Yeah.
no.
One thing that I'm waiting for, and I don't know if it'll ever happen. Maybe when when I'm older and I get Alzheimer's or something.
mhm.
I'm waiting for my children to surpass me technologically wise. So
And then
like,
you have them do all your shit.
yeah, but it doesn't happen.
Hell yeah!
But here's the thing: is like we had to figure all this shit out on our own, right? We didn't have anybody teaching us step by step how to,
For better,
how to
for
work our
worse,
phones, how to work our phones. We also had to teach our parents how to do it as well, right? So like
Mhm.
we had to learn on the fly all this technology shit, computers and just like the computer advancement in the last 20 fucking years is ridiculous. So like throughout our teen years, we literally had to figure out every piece of technology that was thrown in our face because there was nobody there to explain it to us. we just had to
Right.
figure it out, right? And now,
Mhm.
like, I'm just waiting for my kids to do it, but they every time they have issues, they're like, "Here, fix this for me," and I'm like, "God damn it, you're supposed to fix it."
They'll get there, dude. They'll get there when they're like in their mid-teens, probably. Like they're still at
Yeah,
the point where like another thing about it is, when we had the internet, like not everyone like it wasn't as matured as it is now, so
yeah,
things weren't instant. Like you had to
Right.
wait hours for a song to download to fucking then listen to it and see if it was
Oh
even the
yeah.
right song.
I
Now it's like
remember.
their patience is so little. If they hit something, it doesn't work right away, they're like, oh fuck it, someone else fix this. And it's like,
Yeah,
dude, you just had to like wait 5 seconds or whatever. And it's like
right.
we still have a little bit of patience just
Yeah,
from how it was way back then. Like if you had dial up and
you
shit.
had to figure it out.
Bro,
Yeah, man, I feel that.
these kids would not exist in a LimeWire generation, dude.
Oh no,
They
dude.
Yeah,
would have
dude.
panic attacks, dude.
Oh
God
man,
forbid you open up that magnet torrent, bro. Oh my god.
yeah,
Dude,
they got
It's
you
like
used to have to,
portal
Spotify.
to the dark web.
Oh yeah,
you used to have to like leave something downloading overnight, dude, and just hope it was ready in the morning.
yeah. I hope nobody picked
Yeah.
up the goddamn phone during the day.
Please, no.
Go fucking unplug the phone.
Dude, the amount of times that it's like, get off the internet. I'm trying
Yeah.
to call somebody. It's
Oh
like,
my
all right.
god, dude, I
Yeah,
got
dude.
that so much. My dad
Core
was trying to
memory
make a
got
phone call or
locked.
something. Get off the internet.
Yeah. Get off the
Meanwhile,
internet. Imagine that.
that picture of those boobs you just Googled, they're just now popping up. Dude.
Right? You just now got to the nipple loading, man, and it's like, God damn it. I'm gonna go delete my history real quick.
You're ruining my life, Mom.
Right? Oh shit.
Yeah. Oh man.
Those were the days.
Yeah.
And that
This
fucking
is when
tone,
did this
bro.
turned into boomer hour, bro. What
Yeah,
the
it
fuck?
did.
We're
Boomer
like we're
hour.
like grandpas yelling at the night, dude.
Hey,
Yeah.
man, yeah. True.
Looking at nothing,
Whippersnappers.
just the night sky.
Yeah.
Get off of my fucking lawn, dude.
Yeah. Hell yeah, dude.
But yeah,
But
I mean,
anyway.
I do think our generation has a weird perspective, though. Honestly,
Yeah.
because like everything hit us harder. Like the internet hit us harder. I don't know about your guys' area or not, but I know my generation was very much disproportionately affected by like the influx of drugs to the country. Like
Yeah.
I look at the younger kids who work for me in my business now, right? I look at them and, you know, they look at like a lot of the things we do, like our generation does, and they're like, I just don't understand why you guys would do that. And
Yeah.
they don't understand the window of time that we grew up in where
Yeah.
like, you know, weed was still illegal, you know, like
Mm-hmm.
the whole world was a different place. The internet was in the dark ages, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, we could go on and on and on, but like it just seems like all the woes of our like generation, they really hit those like I don't know if we're even millennials or like
Yeah, we're
the bridge
millennials.
in
I think the
are we?
millennials, yeah, we're technically millennials. Yeah. I think we're like first gen millennials, right? I think it's like
And
80 something. I don't know. I have to Google it.
well,
But,
we grew up before the internet, and then we were introduced to the internet, and we adopted the internet, but we weren't internet fluent like the kids 5 to 10 years after us, right? Like so we're early adopters, and we've kind of seen the world through both lenses. And
Yeah,
I will
millennials
say
is
this.
81 to 96.
Okay, so I'm like 91. You guys are probably like 89,
Adam's 91. I'm 90.
90.
I'm 91, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm 90.
But yeah, I mean, I just feel like, and I notice it really bad in my business. Like when I hire people of my generation or within a year or two of me, like those dudes are glued to their cell phones.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a very clear addiction cycle. Like they get jittery when their cell phone is not in their hand. But like I have a kid right now who's 18, and I'm not kidding you, he may not pick it up twice, 3 times a day, you know, because he grew up with the dopamine drip of Facebook. Like
Yeah.
it's as much a part of him as it is anything else. Like he's not wholesale addicted to it.
Yeah.
And it's just weird to see that generational divide where like clockwork, everybody in our generation has this unhealthy relationship with internet, drugs,
Yeah.
porn, phones, like everything that the internet threw at us when we were basically kids, right? But our generation was also the most prepared to raise kids in that world, right? So
Yeah.
we raised kids that weren't as addicted to their phones. They weren't as easily swayed by the internet. They knew the dangers better. And like now that I'm starting to get some of those kids that work for me and come in and out, they're so much more prepared for the world than we were, because our parents were. It was like alien technology to them. There was no reference point, you know.
Well, I don't think it was just the technology that shaped us either. There was actually a comedian that I saw, and he had a change of heart recently. He used to make fun of the millennial generation with just how we were or whatever, and like how like I'm gonna say like depression and everything has kicked up, anxieties have kicked up with the millennials. Like we have a lot of mental health issues in the millennial generation. And then he had a change of heart because he used to always make fun of us. But now he's like, you know, y'all been through some shit. Like Jesus fucking Christ, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
Dude,
if you just look
things.
out throughout the years, bro. I mean, you look at like the Twin Towers when we were in like grade school, and then fucking recessions and like this fucking 30-year goddamn war that we've been a part of since the Twin Towers fell.
Yeah.
You know, just like all this bullshit, dude. Like that's kind of how it had been shaping us as well. So,
Dude, something as simple as like, okay, I'm 12 or something, right? And I would go, my parents would be gone to work all day. Like they would take me to school. I wouldn't see them until it was dark.
yep.
Right? So I was alone. I would just leave the house and I would be gone. I didn't have a cell phone. I didn't call my parents. They're fucking working. Like they did blue collar jobs. Like they weren't getting called. So I was just fucking gone. I can't imagine, like that shit doesn't happen now. Like kids barely leave their site, and if they do, they have a phone and immediately they can just contact one another. But like we would just be fucking gone all day. No phone, no fucking money, like just a skateboard, not even any water. I don't know what was going on. But
might even die. No one knows.
The thought of
just stop off at a friend's house and get some snacks.
I have a 10-year-old nephew, right? He's only a year or two removed from that. The thought of him doing that is horrifying to me.
Oh yeah.
No, he's not gonna do that. But I did it all the fucking
time. And not only that,
that was my life
to do that shit. We couldn't to do that shit.
Oh, dude, you kidding me? Just go out with my boys, just out in the woods, just doing God knows what.
Hoping you don't run into a bear or get molested, dude. You're just hoping for the best, dude.
That never even crossed your mind, dude.
No.
It never even crossed your mind. You just were out and about. Oh my God.
See, that's what I want. I've always wondered, like, I've never really looked up the statistics as to whether or not that happened the same amount when we were growing up or like previous generations or whatever. Like, did that happen the same amount and we just didn't hear about it, or does it happen more now?
I think that would be skewed. I think it would be skewed because back in the day it was easier to get away with shit like that.
Yeah, because I've heard it happened. I've heard it happened the same amount when we were growing up as it does now. We just hear about it more. But I don't know. Like, does it happen more now, or are we just hearing about it more now? I don't know.
I would imagine it's all the same.
It's got to be skewed though, for sure.
Sounds, but yeah. Who's to say?
Yeah, I would say it's probably scalable, right? And I would say like every generation pre or post 1980 had a specific group of challenges, right? Like we started really getting hard drugs introduced into this country in the 60s, and they were almost mainstream by the 80s. And like I look at everything through like the frame of like, when did the things that absolutely wrecked the area that I live in get introduced, right? And I look at like that generation from like let's say 1980 to now. I would say probably 2000 babies, 2005, somewhere in that group area. Yeah. Those kids got just destroyed by like the influx of drugs to this country. I can't express to you how much it's devastated rural
Yeah.
populations. I mean, I can't even put it into words. Like, I could send you some pictures just of Bradford, Pennsylvania, that would just flabbergast you.
It's funny
And
that this kind of brings a point to our first topic of conversation, to whereas, the people get money hungry and then they ruin it, and then people always find a way, right? It's kind of the same thing with drugs, as to
Right.
where it became a multi-billion-dollar industry, and then cheaper and worse drugs were introduced to the population.
right.
Yeah, I mean, it became a money thing, and it was just like, oh,
Yeah,
I can
and
give
people
them
are like,
this
"Oh
like
shit, yeah,
severely worse thing for them, and it's cheaper for me to make, but it might
yeah,
kill them. Yeah, who cares?
Mhm.
I'm trying
exactly,
to make
yeah,
more money.
Exactly.
yeah."
Yeah,
So,
and really, like, I mean, and most of the drugs are being brought in illegally, right?
hmm,
Like the OxyContin Express hasn't existed for the better part of a decade or maybe
yeah,
more, right? So a lot of the actual pharmaceutical drugs are off the shelves. Um, but and another that's another link to the internet too, though, because like, do you think that the drug problem would have spread like an infection if the internet wasn't around? Like, so we'll excuse the generation of the 80s that did all the coke, and then crack got addicted, or crack got introduced in New York City, and like then it spread. And so we'll give them a pass because they're pre-internet. But like, so you look at the fentanyl crisis, heroin, um, the methamphetamine thing that's going on right now, which is just wild to me. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
so
it's like the Walking Dead everywhere.
I can't speak for like the meth crisis or anything like that, but as far as like the fentanyl and the opioid crisis, I believe that probably would have still spread like wildfire, because the thing about that is it wasn't the internet that spread that. That was prescriptions, because those drugs are so easily addictive, and any
Mm-hmm.
any amount of pain that you're in, doctors prescribe those, right? Just a lot of the people that are
Right.
addicted to these drugs weren't drug heads before, right? They had
Right.
some back injury or teeth pulled or something of that nature, got prescribed opioids, and then became addicted to them. And because those are highly addictive
Yeah.
and destructive drugs. So maybe I believe the opioid crisis
Right.
probably was still would have happened. As far as meth, I'm not really sure. But I mean, cocaine happened,
Well,
so
think about it like kind of
well,
like a teeter totter or like a pendulum, right? Like, so how many people who were addicted to those drugs then got cut off by their doctor? How many of them would have rode
yeah,
it out and made it through if it weren't for Facebook Messenger, or like, because they can just reach out to somebody who knows a guy who hooks them up, right?
yeah.
And
But I think
in the
also is what you
80s, in
also
a
have to
different
think about
time,
is,
in a different time without the internet, you would have probably just suffered.
so I believe that, like, if marijuana was legal in all 50 states, I believe that it would put a damper on this other drug issue. And the reason I believe that, I don't know statistics or anything like that, but when drugs are legal in your state, when marijuana is illegal in your state, right? You have to go where to get it. You have to go to a drug dealer, right?
Right, right,
A drug dealer is not just going to have marijuana. He's going to be pushing his other products, because what is he? He's a dealer, right? When you go
right,
to a car dealership and speak with a car dealer, he is pushing you whatever he can, right? He's pushing you every
right,
vehicle they got on that lot. What are you interested in, right?
right,
And they don't just sell Chevys or Fords or cars or trucks. They sell a plethora of shit, right? Just like
right.
drug dealers,
Yeah.
man. And they push
Mhm.
products, whereas like you can get 2 footballs, 2 bars for $5. And then you're just like, well, fuck it, I got an extra $5. I've never done that before. And whereas
Right,
when you have marijuana legal in your state, you go to a dispensary,
right.
and that is the only fucking
Yeah,
thing they have. They're just trying to
right,
push you edibles or whatever, just marijuana shit. All right, that's it. So
right.
I don't
And
know,
I
man.
think there's a fair argument too that weed isn't the real gateway drug. Like
No, it's
like I
not.
know, at least around here, I would say the real gateway drug that nobody wants to talk about is alcohol, because it's
Yeah,
totally legal.
Yeah.
And the
Oh
first time
yeah.
you get addicted to coke or meth or I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've watched people lower their inhibitions because they're pissed drunk and try something they never would have tried before. And
Mm-hmm.
that sends them in a spiral. And, you know, sometimes they don't come back.
Yeah.
You know?
Alcohol is a terrible drug.
And listen, I don't think anybody, I'm kind of in the camp where I think that almost everything should be legal. And I know that's like scary on the surface, but if you actually think about like, especially teenagers and their psychology and how things work, right? So would you rather buy, and this is probably a tough conversation to have on a podcast, right? Because I don't want to offend your guests, whatever. But
yeah,
I mean, like, would you rather buy heroin from Marlboro or would you rather buy heroin from the guy who lives in a basement under a garage down the street and slaps the shit out of everybody he knows? Like, because the guys who sell the hard drugs are typically the sketchier of the bunch, right? Because there's a lot of weed dealers who are just normal guys that live in an apartment building down the street, right?
Yeah.
But in my experience, the guys trying to peddle hard drugs on people tend to be rougher customers, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, it's a no-brainer, right? Because the Marlboro stuff will be safer. It'll be just better, probably quality to begin with. It'll probably be cheaper because it's mass manufactured, right?
Yeah.
And also too, like I saw a weird thing happen with vaping where, and it was like kind of like vaping was taboo for a while, right? And you saw every kid in the country wanted to do it, right? And you'd see news stories where it's going to kill everybody, and they're making vape juice with popcorn and boilers and like just this crazy stuff, right? It was all nonsense.
It's got antifreeze in it, yeah.
Yeah, they put antifreeze and methamphetamine in the vapes, and then the kids smoke them by the dozens, and you know everybody's just panicking, right? And all the kids are just like, "Oh, mom and dad don't like it; it must be cool," right?
Yeah.
And if you made everything legal, right, and just regulated it, taxed it, I mean, the thing with legalization is legalization also opens up, like, it's a whole industry. So you've got the sale of the drug, the taxation of that sale. Then you have rehab clinics who are dedicated to getting people off of the drug. Like, you look at just take the smoking industry, right? So you have all the cigarette companies, and then all the alcohol companies band together to try to get people to quit smoking cigarettes, even though, like, so the Partnership for a Drug-Free America, that's all paid for by tobacco companies. So
yeah,
like,
but the crazy part about that shit is we actually I did a class. I think it was called the Power of Persuasion. So my company paid for me to go to this class called Power of Persuasion, and it listed the 7 like basically it was teaching you how to be a persuasive boss and make people do things for you without getting on to them or yelling at them or whatever, right? And they went over a bunch of like ad campaigns. One of the ones was Philip Morris paying for stop smoking ads, right? They use psychology in those to where, yes, they're paying for it, but the psychology they use in those commercials makes you want to smoke more.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's a crazy fucking thing.
It is, and that might have been intentional or not intentional.
It's 100% intentional.
Is it? Okay.
Yes, 100% intentional. Yeah, because when you see their ads, they don't make you want to quit smoking. They make you want to smoke more because they build anxiety, or they build like one of the ads was like it was like these teens trying to buy cigarettes or whatever is what they paid for it. I watched the ad or whatever, but it made it. They used like 3 points in it to where it made it look cool for kids to smoke, even though it's not, you know what I'm saying? Like they use these weird like psychology tactics because again, they're making money off of cigarettes. Why would they want you to quit? They want you to continue to smoke, which is why when they pay for the ads, they're going to put as much fucked up shit in them as they can to make sure that the consumer does not quit.
Or do you guys remember the dog, dude? The dog commercial where the kid was smoking weed. He's like, "You're just not the same."
Yeah, and he was like all deflated.
I love that commercial.
Yeah.
I love that commercial.
You're just not the same on the marijuana.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, like I think that like the only way to erase the taboo, like, and I think the taboo is why most people who are like, So with the exception, if we negate the people who, you know, had an injury, they were in a car crash, whatever. Sorry, I'm yawning. But that's how they got on the drug. If we erase that demographic, right, you're left with the people who basically did it because mom and dad said don't do it, right? And they're rebellious. And I think you cure a whole generation by just, like, I look at how, like, the younger kids now look at weed, and they look at, like, our generation like we're just a bunch of dirty hippie weirdos. Like, why would you smoke that? It smells terrible. You know, like the same way we looked at cigarettes, you know what I mean? And it's like, oh, like that's how it works. As soon as the taboo is lifted and it's not cool anymore, the kids don't give a shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you could use the argument that maybe they'll get into more extreme things. Like if you took all of the current drugs, like crack, meth, coke, all the hard drugs that make your skin crawl, right? And you made them legal. There is always going to be a demographic for those drugs. Don't get me wrong. Somebody will buy those drugs. But I would argue the people who would buy them anyway, they're the people who would buy those drugs anyways. And they would have bought it from a guy next to a dumpster if Marlboro didn't sell them.
Yeah.
Right? And the one benefit you would get from it is it would spring up a whole chain of rehab facilities. There would be a whole industry based around lengthening the life of these people, right?
Yeah.
And it's safe to say that the methamphetamine that Marlboro would sell would be probably just as addictive, but probably make you more functional than the guy by the dumpster's meth, right? Because they want you to keep paying your bills. They don't want you to
they want you to keep
live in a van down by the river, you know. They want you to be a contributing member of society. And, you know, maybe that's a flawed way of looking at it, but I think, like, if you seriously sit down and think about the way, like, psychology of addiction, and this all ties back into, like, our generation and the cell phones too, because we all have addictive personalities, all of us, you know, every one of us, and everything affected us more. Maybe it was because we were all latchkey kids and our parents were all gone. Yeah, and maybe that's part of it. I don't really know, like, what the bigger picture part of it is, but like you anybody in this room could probably describe their childhood and we'd all go, yep, that's how it went. Yeah. And that's been my experience with everybody in our generation, where, like, these younger kids, they're like, yeah, I know, like, even if they were raised with a single mom was always around. Mom taught them how to, like, deal with a cell phone. Ooh, sorry, I'm old as fuck and I get tired.
Oh, you're good, man.
But But yeah, I mean, they just have a different upbringing. You know, they don't have the same shared experience as us. They don't ever describe being alone, you know. And it's weird. Like, they really couldn't have been any more different than us. Yeah. In a lot of ways, you know. But.
Well, let's get some more promotion for your band going. Let's
oh yeah, we keep talking about
back
nothing.
to the topic. Yeah.
Nothing productive.
Because it's getting kind of late. I know you're tired. We're tired, so we're gonna wrap this up pretty soon. So you said you got the EP coming out. We got Hazmat, which is an amazing song. It's a little on the popular side, but it's still Design the Void. What is there anything we can expect from Mass Effect? Is it poppier, or y'all stick true a little more true to?
It's a little more blended. It's a little more of a mix, like you're used to hearing. It's got a lot of heavy parts. It's definitely got the catchy chorus thing going for it. You know, the series of songs we have coming out. So Mass Effect is going to be a good blend. Then we have a song called Orb Weaver, and it is just heavy as balls, dude. I mean, it's really heavy. And that song I'm really excited for, because I really wanted to release Orb Weaver next because of how poppy Hazmat was. Yeah. And I really wanted to do, like, polar opposites. So that was my goal. But I think they want to push Mass Effect first. And we're working on an EP. And I don't have any names of any of that stuff yet, because this is technically being recorded in the past, and this is going to come out in the future. So maybe at some point I will have more information. But you know, I always look for an excuse to talk to the boys. So, you know, maybe someday soon we'll do it again. But but yeah, I mean, we have a lot of things coming out, and at some point, I will get back to the Isadore stuff too. Like I was telling you guys before this call, I looked about 2 weeks ago, and my solo project had like 1,200 monthly listeners. I just felt like a total scum of the earth douchebag. And I was like, oh man, I released 2 songs in 2020 and then just totally dropped the ball.
Yeah.
I was whole hog focused on Design the Void. And it is cool to see people actually caring about that stuff, though. You know,
yeah, man.
I do appreciate the support. And I promise at some point I'll quit being a lazy bitch. But
I'm going to
stuff.
Probably release the same playlist for this, but I will update it and I will throw, or if you wanted to send me that list you had, I can throw all those into a playlist and we can call this like Don't Do Drugs or something.
Let's do it, dude.
And just send me a list. And
this conversation took such a weird boomer turn, dude.
Right.
But I'm all for it, dude.
Yeah. Or like the boomers are talking, you know, something like that.
Yeah, get off my lawn.
Yeah, get off my lawn, something like that. And we'll throw that on there. We'll throw hazmat. We'll throw hazmat on it.
Crabcore.
And if you have anything else out, like if Mass Effect comes out by the time this is released, then we'll throw that on there as well. If not, we'll just throw another Design the Void song. So.
All right. Well, when we get a release date for Mass Effect, I will reach out to you. And maybe we can plan like the release around that. Like even if you have to shuffle things around and move something.
Yeah, that's fine.
Forward or backwards or whatever. But
yeah, I can
when I
always
have
do that.
more details and I'm not totally an idiot, we'll come up with something.
Well, hell yeah, dude.
It's seriously awesome to talk to you guys again. I had a blast last time. Dude. I think I will say this, dude. I think I was blasted on edibles for our first conversation. Because I listened to that.
You wouldn't be the first.
I wouldn't be the first.
Nah, man.
Nah.
I have like chronic back problems, so every once in a while, I'll just like, just pound like 200 milligrams and not even think about it. And I'm like, oh no, I had stuff to do, dude. I had stuff to do. So
it's not even legal in Texas, so I'm still.
Well, dude, even the gas station deltas now.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll put you on Jupiter, my guy.
Bro,
I just do the Delta 8 stuff or Delta 9, whatever it is.
I know somebody who does the Delta shit, and they don't like the gummies because the gummies aren't regulated. So it'll have it'll give you like a bottle with like 3,000 milligrams or whatever, some shit like that in it, and like every gummy has a different milligram.
Yeah,
that is for sure.
You'll
dude.
Fucking pop one, and it sends you to the goddamn moon, bro.
Floating into space.
Yeah.
The first time my wife ever tried, one time she was having back problems, right? And I was like, dude, I'm telling you, these things work wonders. And she came in and took one. And she comes back like an hour later. She's like, this does nothing. And I was like, you got to chill. You got to relax because it will. I swear to God, you got to relax. She's like, no, just give me another one. This, like, I literally don't feel this.
That's the worst.
Like, I will give you another one, but I just want you to know you're doing this to yourself, She was like, oh, you're so dramatic, whatever. I was like, okay, whatever. Go ahead, tough guy. And she comes back like 20 minutes later, high as giraffe pussy, dude. She is like floating, and she's like not stumbling, but like using the wall to guide her to my room. I was like, what's up, dude? And she's like, what's up, dude? I was like, okay. And she's like, okay, whatever, dude. I was like, are you just imitating me? She's like, well, whatever, dude. She just walks away giggling. I was like, oh my God, she's so fucking high right now.
You gotta let them learn, man. You gotta let them learn.
I just hear her in the living room watching her phone and giggling obnoxiously and stuff. And then like 45 minutes later, I walk into the room and she's having like an existential crisis. I'm like, oh, you're getting the full gamut tonight.
That's the part that always sucked, dude. Like, not that I did it all that much, but sometimes it'd be like, I just want to be high for like 30 minutes, not 4 hours.
I know,
and then at the end, you're just begging to whatever you believe in for fucking relief. You're like, I'm done. This isn't fun anymore. Like, oh my God.
Or like in my case, so I'll take them because they are super good. Even the Delta stuff is super good for like anti-inflammation stuff. And it helps a ton with my back. It's basically like a really strong muscle relaxer, you know?
Yeah.
And it does do that job really well. But the problem is like, I'll just pound like 4 gummies and go to sleep.
Jeez.
And then I wake up 10 hours later and I'm like, oh no, I gotta go run heavy equipment. I am fucked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you're just like guzzling coffee to try to, you know, get the caffeine to kick the high, you know what I mean? But,
Yeah.
you know, it's definitely, results may vary when you're taking gas station edibles, but you know, it's a good experience either way.
Hell yeah, dude. But
All right, boys.
I got that photo you sent, man, and we'll be in touch and everything when this comes out. So appreciate talking to you again, man. It was a lot of fun, dude.
It's always a good time bullshit with you boys.
Always,
thank you
bro.
so much for having me.
Yes, sir.
And thank you for talking about Design the Void on the podcast, even when I'm not here. I appreciate you guys a ton.
Yeah,
I
man.
can't tell you how much I appreciate it.
Always,
And I swear I've got to hook you guys up with my boys over at Brutal Podcast. You guys would get along great, and you guys both have an audience, probably similar audiences. It would be sick to see you guys collab. So
yeah, man, send them our way, dude.
Absolutely.
We'll fucking collab with anybody.
I will. I think I tried to link you guys up the last time, and I think they just forgot or whatever. But they were super stoked the last time I told them about you guys, and you know how this goes. You just forget and life happens,
bro.
and
We all grown, man.
so,
Yeah.
But you guys would love each other, and I would really like to see you guys in the same room at some point. So, but,
yeah, man.
Yeah, thanks a bunch for having me, dude, and thank you guys for listening. If you guys check this podcast out, I'll do my part promoting it when it comes out. Love you guys forever.
Yeah, man. Same. You have a good night, dude.
Have a good one, buddy.
All right, later,
dude.
man.
Later.
Later.